The incident of pieces of meat moving on their own is completely real, and it quickly went viral on the internet. Many people who watched the video said it was so horrifying that they decided to become vegetarians afterward. But let's find out the real reason behind it. Why does this happen? In reality, very fresh beef retains active nerves for a long time. Although the animal's central nervous system is no longer functioning, the nerve endings and muscle fibers remain active for some time. When salt is sprinkled on it, the sodium ions in the salt stimulate the nerves, causing the piece of meat to move in a way that makes it appear alive. Interestingly, this is actually a sign of high-quality fresh meat. However, watching this might make many think it's part of some bizarre and terrifying recipe. The truth is, this phenomenon shows us just how strange and unbelievable nature can be. And this isn't the only example. In today's video, we'll discuss even more amazing incidents that, without scientific explanations, you might have considered pure myths. So, let's dive in. What do you think these are? This is actually a sanctuary in Florida. Due to the drying up of a canal in this sanctuary, a surprising encounter with catfish occurred. Due to the water drying up, the crocodiles are forced to coexist closely with each other. Interestingly, food for the crocodiles in this area, such as fish, is almost never in short supply. On May 30th, 2024, Beijing experienced a day of storms and heavy rain. At the CCTV headquarters, a group of workers was busy cleaning a massive structure. While this task might have seemed routine for them, the situation quickly turned far more dangerous. The storm was so powerful that trees were falling across various parts of the city, and amidst the stormy weather, the workers were hanging from the top of the building, with their ropes swinging so wildly it seemed they could fall at any moment. Witnesses nearby screamed in panic at the terrifying sight. Miraculously, all the workers were gradually brought down safely. Now, imagine the front of a high-speed train stained with blood. Does it look like a scene from a horror movie? It's not. This is real. It happens because these trains travel so fast that birds on the tracks often can't escape in time. As a result, they collide with the train, leaving bloodstains on its surface. This is real. It happens because high-speed trains move so quickly that birds on the tracks often fail to avoid them in time. Tragically, these collisions leave bloodstains on the train's surface. Unfortunately, this phenomenon deeply concerns environmentalists. Now, imagine you're at a gas station filling up your car, and everything seems normal. Suddenly, a massive fuel tank starts emerging from the ground. It feels as if a giant is rising from beneath the earth. This isn't due to an earthquake or a thunderstorm, but rather a fascinating scientific phenomenon. These tanks are typically buried deep underground, and are so heavy that they shouldn't rise to the surface. However, during flooding, water pressure significantly increases below ground, displacing the soil above the tank. As a result, the massive tanks begin to float upward. This phenomenon looks as terrifying as it is unbelievable. When you pour water onto a hot pan, it usually evaporates quickly. However, in some cases, you might notice the water doesn't evaporate, but instead starts to dance on the surface. This is known as the Leiden frost effect. It occurs when the surface temperature is much higher than the boiling point of water. In this condition, a thin layer of vapor forms beneath the water droplet. This layer insulates the droplet and prevents direct contact with the hot surface, allowing the water to hover and move around as if it's dancing. It's bizarre and almost magical to witness. Phenomena like these show how science can explain the fascinating events that occur around us. This is a striking example of how seemingly ordinary occurrences can lead to devastating consequences. In North Korea's Pyongyang, a white cloud was seen slowly drifting over a road. Many assumed it was fog, but in reality, it was leaked petroleum gas. The gas cloud spread across the road, and the aftermath was catastrophic. A massive fire broke out, engulfing the entire street, with cars and buildings catching fire. Those inside vehicles, terrified by the situation, wisely refrained from stepping outside to observe, a decision that ultimately saved their lives. It took firefighters over 3 hours to bring the blaze under control. In this shocking incident, a massive turbine blade used for electricity generation was struck directly by lightning. The lightning caused a fire to erupt on the blade in a matter of moments. Suddenly, a huge black plume of smoke appeared in the sky over a city. It seemed as if it was being blown by some giant, but the explanation for this was found. The smoke was actually coming from a chimney, and when it was suddenly released, it formed a ring shape. Since the air was perfectly still that day, the smoke ring remained suspended in the same spot in the sky. Now, let's talk about a surprising connection between a frog and a firefly. It might sound unbelievable, but it's a real event. Suddenly, a frog saw a firefly and gulped it down. The funny part? The firefly was still glowing and moving inside the frog. Now, here's another fascinating story. A bear was kept in a small cage for 20 years and became so accustomed to pacing in a small space that, even when released into a vast sanctuary, it continued pacing in circles. This behavior was the result of the mental trauma it endured. To help it, workers blocked its path with stones to stop the pacing, gradually encouraging the bear to change its habits. This incident highlights the importance of keeping wild animals in their natural habitats, as they are meant to thrive in nature. And did you know how nuclear weapons are transported from one place to another? This isn't a scene from a movie. While it might seem like a huge convoy, these weapons are typically carried in trucks, though they appear normal on the outside. Inside, they are reinforced with steel walls and equipped with cutting-edge security systems. To prevent accidents, the weapons are secured inside the truck with foam